allegiance. Right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
Any persons wishing to address the City Council on any item on today's agenda may do so at this time.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. Gil Matthew, District 4, and residents. I'd like to speak on finance and payment of bills. As you know, we've completed the third quarter as of yesterday, which is very important to the city of Inglewood. And the reason why I'm speaking on it is because this third quarter is going to be time for serious decision-making on the part of this council. And I'm hopeful that Mr. Esparza will complete the third quarter as soon as possible, because last year we waited very late trying to assess the third quarter, and we never did get a report on the fourth quarter. And by that time, the new fiscal year has started. So here again, yesterday, many major changes were made concerning contracts, particularly on the ROPS. Very, very, very serious, not serious, but a lot of contracts that's going to make a difference, because some are still outstanding and they have expired and they're going to have to be paid. So I'm asking that as soon as possible, have a meeting of the successor agency and let's discuss what our options are. And we need a copy of the ROPS from the July 1st to December. And I'm optimistic because on balance, we've been doing very well. And here again, I must tell the council this. It's something that you inherited, Mayor Butts, and I'm aware of that. But at the same time, the city must go on, and we must do the best we can with it. And the way it's going to really work is where we can circle the wagons and understand what the problem is, then we really have a situation, and it can be solved. So with that, on the agenda itself, it's not very much on there. But anyway, on the public works, we need a street repair. That street is still half paved in Century Heights, and it's awful because it's developing more cracks. And the part that's unpaved is getting damaged. Thank you.
Thank you. Could, Ms. Sly, Mr. Brown, could you give us 1 minute? I forgot to acknowledge some very important people involved in the District 1 Relay for Life, and we have some appreciation certificates that are going to be presented by Councilman Dotson, so please forgive me for missing them. Councilman Dotson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have some certificate of appreciation for some of our sponsors. The first one is Jones. Johnson. Excuse me. First certificate goes to John D. Jones in appreciation of your sponsorship of Team Dots and the Relay for Life fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. The City of Inglewood hereby congratulates you for the outstanding commitment to promoting community spirit. Thank you very much, and it's signed by myself. And I have another one for Gus Unger, reads the same way, and Don Harris. So if you're here, would you please come?
I'm here to represent her. She's on a special assignment for me at this time. So
Special assignment. That sounds so mysterious. Angela, you like running an underground government or what? Special assignment. All right. Mr. Brown and Ms. Sly, could you please come back forward? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Hi, Milton Brown, District 2, and I'm speaking on CI 1. Not that I think it's going to have difficulty passing, but I think it helps to have somebody in the district recognize the significance of shining this kind of spotlight. All too long, we haven't done that, for whatever the reason may be. And even though budgetary concerns have forced us to stop doing as much spotlighting as I'm well aware we used to do, I think we've come to recognize it's still very important. You've got great things on the agenda concerning public works, but people sort of take public works for granted. They assume their toilets are going to work, whether they do. We have to see something that brings pride to the community. My only regret is I didn't learn of this soon enough to bring such a natural thing as an auto show to the last major Porsche dealership. Hopefully, we can do that next year. And who knows? Maybe every district will go back to finding some sort of place or arrangement to shine the spotlight and remind us what are some of the positive things that people respond to. And well done, Alex. Bye-bye.
Mayor, council, and staff, Aldine Sly from the First District. I just have a question regarding the item consent calendar number 2. We're going to make this payment, I'm sure, but I never received anything. And since my tax dollars are paying for this, I'm wondering why I did not receive this brochure that was supposed to have been sent out. Plus, the public hearing meeting that was supposed to have taken place on May 21st for our District 1 public hearing, it really never took place because none of the residents were in attendance except block club presidents or block club leaders. So I just need to question why my District 1, especially on 4th Avenue, I don't know what happened, but we never received this information. Thank you.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood, and proud of it. I stand here, consent calendar number 4. I'm really, really proud to see this going forward. And another one here that make me feel good, CSA 2 and DR 2. Those are two items that I really am proud to see progressing in this city. And, I just can't wait to see both items completed. And, I know that people are working hard to get it done, and you got my support 100%. And my Councilman George Dotson, I appreciate you, brother.
DR3 has been pulled, just want to let everybody know. We'll be taking that up next week.
My name's Diane Sombrano. I'm very glad the DR3 has been pulled, and then I'm going to go on up to the DR1. As we apply for another grant from Metro for the transit-oriented development, I would hope that this community is more involved with this community as opposed to just being sent to the MTA project meetings. Because actually it is our community that will be impacted. The people who simply ride through will simply be riding through. And it is the residents of this community who have lost a lot of businesses. It is the residents of this community who should be consulted as to what your many transit-oriented development projects that are often promoted out there will include. And I would hope that we do not forget the environmental impact reports for many of the items that have been promoted, because we, the public, have a right and should have the opportunity to be involved in all of those projects that will come into be, or that we will have to discuss whether we, the community, want them in our community, impacting our traffic, of course, the infrastructure, and every other part of our lives. With regard to the senior center, I think that's just interesting that we have it now. Hopefully we do get a senior center at some point in time. I'm not holding my breath because obviously I was here before it was torn down, suggested maybe we should consider what we're going to do before we tear down the senior center, and would hope that we actually do involve the community rather than outside developers this time around, because that was obviously, in my opinion, a gift of public funds to a good many people, and I certainly hope that this community actually benefits rather than those dollars going to other persons' benefit. So as we get ready to make all these changes based on transit development, I certainly hope that we don't become the byway that everybody goes through, that we care about this community. And I guess that I'm going to hear, at least I hope, when it comes back to all of our park projects, that we have actually reached out to the community impacted, because that clearly did not happen in one of the items that has been pulled. So, you want to hear some positives? Maybe we should include us before it has to be a negative, because we should not be spending a lot of money redoing what we told you probably should be considered before you do things, and then we have to go back and redo them. Oh, and the salary ordinance, I already registered my issues with that last week. Nothing's changed. We still have some questions about that. And of course, I'd like to know what the authorized strength versus the real strength is in many of our staffings.
Close public comment. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1, open the Housing Authority and Successor Agency. Madam Clerk.
A quorum is present. Allow for payment of the bills.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales. Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendars, items 2 through 7. Move approval.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. SPH 1.
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider scheduling delinquent sewer and refuge accounts for the direct property assessments.
I'm sorry, we need to adopt 1, 2, and 3.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales. Mayor Butts.
Aye. 01,
Staff report recommending adoption of a salary ordinance amendment for the fiscal year 2013-14.
Motion to waive further reading?
Madam Clerk.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. I'll introduce DR1.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution authorizing the submission of an application to the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transit Authority for the Transit Orient Development Grant.
Move adoption?
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. DR2 and CSA2.
Staff report recommending approval of the statement of purpose for Senior Center Advisory Committee and a Senior Center project at 111 Locust Street.
Move 1 and 2?
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members Dodson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. DR3 is pulled. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. As the CS1 was a closed session confidential with the labor negotiators regarding bargaining group SEIU, the negotiators for the city is Artie Fields, the city manager, and Jack Hoffman, the chief negotiator. As to that particular item, there was discussion held, no final action taken. And as to A2, Mayor, there's no oral report from the city attorney's office.
Thank you. CM1.
No city manager reports.
CC1, Madam City Clerk.
Mayor, I just would ask that you would close the meeting in memory of my aunt who passed away last Wednesday, and her name is Laura Veal. Thank you so much.
Thank you. CT1, Madam City Treasurer.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a brief report regarding the bills that was paid for the month of May, and it was $14.3 million, and the net payroll was $3.6 million, and the total for the month was $18.3 million. And the number of banks that fell for the month of May was the FDIC shut down a small bank in Oklahoma on June 27, 2014, with assets totaling $22.8 million and at the cost of the FDIC of $5.8 million, bringing the total bank failure in 2014 now to 12. And again, the total banks from 2007 to 2014 is 504 banks, with total assets of the failed banks of $701.9 billion. And the loss to the FDIC is $96.8 billion. And also, just to congratulate the Chamber of Commerce on their recent installation of officers and directors. I did attend on June 26 last Thursday, and also want to point out a number of things that the mayor also pointed out, which he has mentioned here at the council regarding the way that we have come up until now. You know, when he first was elected mayor, he stepped into roughly $18.6 million deficit, and as I mentioned, we were basically on a very weak wagon headed down a very steep hill. And we have now recovered from that about. You know, we do have a $7.2 million deficit now, but most of that is due to health care. And also, he mentioned the successful negotiation with our 6 unions, and they've been doing that over the past 6+ months. And he also brought up the reserve that we now have. It was $11 million. It has now doubled to $22 million, and that is definitely a hoorah, hoorah. And he pointed out also that our sales taxes are up. We have a lot of new businesses that are located in the city. Matter of fact, there's one called Remy that used to be where Hollywood Video was. There now, it's a beauty supply. It's a huge store. And I stopped to chat with him, and he mentioned that they're offering a 10% salary discount to all City of Inglewood employees. So I've stopped by there, and they have some really nice products there. And also would like to point out, he pointed out also regarding Hollywood Park tomorrow, which is now, of course, well on its way. So the city really have a lot going on. And of course, last but not least, our fabulous forum that is doing very well. And of course, as many of you may know, the forum actually had events booked in February through the latter part of the year, October through December. So we're real happy regarding the fabulous forum. So those are some of the things that the mayor pointed out at the Chamber of Commerce event. And also, I just want to also congratulate Officer Michael Falco.
Yeah,
Yes, we have extra protection here,
yeah.
and he's an excellent marksman, I understand. So be on your P's and Q's here. And sadly, I was not able to attend. Mike, I meant to tell you, my jury duty also started on Friday, and I didn't realize that when I promised to come. But anyhow, I saw all the wonderful pictures, and congratulations.
Yeah.
And also, I want to remind you that our community financial workshop that we will be putting on, I will be putting on basically, in Community Room A on August the 9th. That's a Saturday, be from 1:30 to 3 o'clock. And we will be discussing all kinds of issues regarding insurance, the pro and con of term versus whole life, homeowners insurance, important information you need to know about homeowners insurance, rental insurance, and also determining the amount of money that you will need to retire. A lot of folks don't realize that, that's going to come to a surprise to a lot of folks when that day comes. Also, we'll talk about a lot of different kinds of financial products, mutual funds, and what is a mutual fund, annuities, and the pros and cons of each of those products. And we'll also talk about something called the Rule of 72. A lot of folks really don't know what that is, and that's really how long it takes money to double depending on the interest rate, something that I always teach the students in the City Treasurer Student Intern Program. And I'm looking to hopefully have a program before school starts back. So that concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Madam City Treasurer. Let's see, CI1.
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Mayor, if I can say a few words on that?
You can, but wait.
I didn't even read it.
She's got to read
I didn't even read it.
Go ahead. Formalities.
I wanted to make the motion.
Right. So
Okay, so you made the motion already, right?
An exciting.
wait. All that is erased.
Okay, it's erased.
We're gonna go back to the mayor running the meeting.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to that.
2
And then-
inches.
All right. CI1.
Initiative by Councilmember Padilla requesting the city sponsorship approval for the 2014 Discover District 2 event to be held on Saturday, August 9th, 2014 from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Move approval.
Second. Now you try.
Now, it's all good. Well, look, and I got to tell you, I want to thank Milton Brown for coming up and saying a few words about it. This is a great opportunity for our community to come together, to see what it is that we have going on in not only the city of Inglewood, but also in District 2. We'll have vendors there from different areas throughout the city. We'll have members from the Chamber of Commerce, from the Centinela Hospital, from the Rotarians, business owners from within the district, and we'll have some good food and some classic cars to come out and take a look at. Again, set your calendars for August the 9th. Look forward to seeing you there.
Madam Clerk.
Council members Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Mayor Butts.
Aye. Now, I think we've already taken care of CSA 2 and DR 2, is that right?
Yes.
All right. So, public comments, anyone wishing to address the council on any matter connected with city business not elsewhere considered may do so at this time. Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor, council member, those in attendance. My name is Angela Gibson, and I'm a consultant with Assemblymember Steve Bradford, and I have a couple of announcements. The first one is I wanted to extend an invitation to everyone to attend Assemblymember Steve Bradford's Regional Utility Town Hall taking place on Saturday, July 19th at 10 a.m. This will be an opportunity for all the residents in the 62nd Assembly District to hear from their utilities and find out about various products and services and discount programs to those that qualify. The location is in Hawthorne, but the invitation is extended to all those that live in the 62nd Assembly District. I have some flyers that I'd like with you and also leave some out in the foyer. Thank you. My second announcement is Assemblyman Bradford has interns in his office for the summer, and I would like to take the opportunity to have y'all meet one of them and have him introduce himself.
Good afternoon. My name is Samuel Grubbs. I am a sophomore intern from University of California, Irvine, studying political science. And it's nice to meet you all.
Pleasure.
Council members and everyone else. This is Damon Johnson. I'm just here to remind you of July 21st at 10 a.m. here in this building of the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee meeting. And that's out July 21st.
Good afternoon, Councilman and Mayor. My name is Precious Trigg, and I have lived in Inglewood since 1973. And I have two issues that have been bugging me since I've been in this city. Number one, I have spoken extensively with Councilman Dotson about this, as well as quite a few other councilmen, and it's never been addressed that I know of. This is my first time here. It is your utility refund for seniors, rebate for seniors. Your ceiling is $16,000 a year, which has been since 1997, I think. And I have tried quite a few times, even with the seniors. I've been to the senior citizen to talk about this. I have been on the program, and I did qualify. However, now I make $25,000 a year, and I don't qualify. The gas company I qualify is $31,000 a year. The electric company is $28,000 I qualify. And for the water is $29,000 I qualify. I'm upset with Inglewood. You're making a lot of money, and we seniors keep getting our pensions, and I'm not angry or anything. I'm sorry, I just speak loudly, and I'm sorry if it seems that way. I'm not anything like that. I'm just asking for help with this. So if you're making a lot of money, which I appreciate, and I heard from your city staff that you just said that Inglewood is now making money, could the ceilings on senior rebates for utilities be raised from $16,000 a year to possibly as high as the gas company, so we can qualify? Because we do get raises in our Social Security and our retirements. Okay, that's one issue. The second issue that I have is that Market Street is atrocious. If you walk down it, and especially I've been to Big Five, I've been all the way to to CVS. Your potted plants, Mayor, they're dying, and they're all shriveled up and everything. Nobody's watering them, and your streets need to be steam cleaned. They stink, they are ridiculous, and for you to be making as much money, not you personally, but the city, and bringing the forum, and it's being rejuvenized and everything, then our city should be clean, and it's ridiculous. Every street you look at, if you take an inventory and go down your streets, you will see the people are defecating on the streets, and the smell is ridiculous. You still have the little things where you walk on the sidewalk and your foot gets caught underneath the cement and you stumble, because I fell and hurt my knee on those things. So I'm just bringing these things to your attention, please. I do respectfully bring them.
Thank you so much. What was your name again, ma'am?
Precious Trigg.
Precious, I remembered that.
Yep.
Councilman Morales wanted to
I
talk
just
for a
wanted to
minute.
address you. Thank you very much for bringing up those two items. The first one I just wanted to mention, I know the mayor's on board also. I brought it up to him. I realize the ceiling hasn't been looked at. I know it's at 16,000. That was an issue that came up earlier this year. I did speak to the finance director with the mayor's support also, and we are looking at where it should be, how much money is left every year, if at all. Does it all get used up? Is it not being used up because some people are just making $1,000 or $2,000 more than the limit? So I did speak to Mr. Esparza, who's looking into that already. I don't know where it's gonna land, but I do want you to know that we actually take that issue very seriously, because it's a benefit that the seniors should be getting, and we should find a way that they can qualify. That's fair and reasonable. So I just wanted to address that.
And to piggyback on the councilman, the reality is, and I wanted to clarify something, while we are doing much better than we have been, we continually have structural deficits where our intake is a little bit less than our outgo, and so we're not flush with cash to spend on everything. But for parity for the seniors, though, and that's what Councilman Morales brought to my attention, so that we'd be at parity with these other essential utilities that seniors use, agencies and utilities that seniors use, we want to see if we're competitive. And so I just want to make it very clear, we're not flush yet, but we're doing much better than we were, and we're saving money, but that's because we're being cautious. This is something important to look at. And as far as Market Street, we'll look at Market Street. I didn't have the impression it was quite that bad, but we'll take a look at it.
It is, sir, it is, Mayor. And if my time is not up, I have to ask.
It was up a long time ago. It was up a long time ago.
Okay.
We want
All
you to
right.
come back next week.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'd like to make the recommendation to expand the parameters of the housing rehabilitation program to include more people. The current program serves residents aged 62 and older, and the program should be expanded to service more people in dire need and who do not meet the legal age requirement, but they need the assistance. The program should be expanded to include safety issues that need immediate attention and not just beautification projects. It should include the age group that really needs the assistance, that have the funds but not enough for the extras. It should have more emphasis on the length of residency in Inglewood. The immediate problem at my house, where this is a special concern, is the foundation, and it is a safety issue. If the foundation is not secure, then basically there's no house, and it leads to a housing issue, because I have nobody to move in with. The problem was first discovered shortly after work was done by the city along with the sound insulation project. And the contact person, they say the structure was too weak at the point where the wall is breaking, and nothing was done. I tried contacting the insurance company, and they supplied a copy of the structural engineer's report. I have a copy here. They can look at and see what's going on, because there was no coverage, because the report said I inherited the problem. Here, I would like to share some of the current pictures of what it looks like today. See why it is such a big problem. And it is obvious it will not hold up much longer, because it's actually broken. You can see through the side of the house. And it's causing a problem with the ceiling and the subfloor. I don't have the funds to fix it, and I'm appealing to the city for assistance. I'm not a senior, but my house is in dire need of repairs that I cannot afford. I'm already a single parent that was struggling. I lost my job, and now I don't have the extras to deal with the other stuff, and I really want to appeal to if we have grants available or whatever other resources they are to help the owners like myself who need the help to get their house together. Okay, I have had temporary jobs and still unemployed right now. I had an interview even this morning. Would you please consider the parameters of the housing rehabilitation program to include safety issues, people who really need the assistance regardless of the age, and the residents who don't just live here but really consider Inglewood their home? My name is Pat Thomas, and I've been an Inglewood resident for 28 of the 31 years I've been in America. I really need your help, and I'd like to hope that you can revamp the program or see what can be done to help people who really need help in your city. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, does the materials you left, do they have your phone number and address on them? Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon. I guess I came at a good time. My name is Brenda Tippins, and I have been a resident and a homeowner in Inglewood since 1974. Unfortunately, when I purchased my home, I moved on the wrong side of the street, meaning I didn't move on the right side of Centinela, so I ended up where all of the apartments are. For the last years, we've always somewhat had gang problems in the city of Inglewood, but in the last year or two, it has increased. And we have those of us that are not familiar with killings we're seeing, and we're contributing a lot to gang banging. And a lot of it is not gang banging. On the side, when you cross Centinela coming south, I've gone to a few meetings in the neighborhood where they say, oh, it's bad over there. Well, I feel that the council, the court, the government here, I think we've neglected those that may be in need of help. It's not, the voices should be democratic. And it may, and I'm not here looking for sympathy, I'm just saying what's going on. And before, my grandson was murdered May 8th. He was not a gangbanger. My kids went to school here in Inglewood, and my grandson was born here in Inglewood and was raised. Kids have lived here together, but when they become teenagers, it appears that there's more going on. A lot of people are not aware of, other than numbers on homicide, as to what is really going on in this city. And I think that the media need to know more. We need to get more involved. We have no community advisory. I understand that Mr. Padilla sits on the LAPD community advisory for gangs. But we have nothing here in Inglewood to assist. Now, I too was one of the people at one time who was all involved in the government and in the political arena. So, but did I choose to forget where I live and my children, forget what they have to put up with? And so I'm here, I wanted to make sure I got here, because most of the homicides, most of the murders that are going on within this city are hate crimes. They're not gang banging, they're hate crimes. And we need to take a look at what's going on more. I know there's a shortage of police officers. I missed your town meeting where we discussed the discussion of where we were going to put the monies. So I missed that because of my tragedy. But we need to take a look at where we are, and we need to come down off our pedestal and really get out there and know what's going on in the city of Inglewood and what we can do to help these kids. And that no kid should, and I don't know how many minutes I have.
Actually, a minute over, but go ahead.
Thank you. But there should be no young people out here that are they're afraid to walk down the street, and here comes somebody along and pull a gun out on them. None. And for some odd reason, then you have the gang task force that sometimes bully the kids instead of looking at what can we do, and they're arresting the wrong people instead of looking at what's really going on. We need to deal with some race relations too, but I don't want to take up, I might come back again, and you might have to deal with my mouth. But I wanted to make sure I got here, because we're losing a lot of kids, not only in Inglewood, but in the county, and there's some networking going on in the jails. Okay. but I'll see you again.
All right, look forward to it. Thank you, ma'am.
Gil Matthew, Mayor, City Council, and residents. It's refreshing to hear from residents that have not participated in this council. And for years, this is what I've been trying to say, that we need community meetings. They're not going to come here, and we don't have the media to get the word out sufficiently in the city of Inglewood. So I hope the message is loud and clear and be serious about what these people are saying, because I've been hearing it for years. And I come here to express in terms of the council getting out in the community and having these meetings at Morningside and Inglewood. It's very important. And you got to hear the people, because you're not going to get it here. So it's no reflection or talking down anybody. It's reality. And as far as Time Warner is concerned, we're not taking advantage of the cable company in the city of Inglewood. So I would advise you to see if we can have some consultation how to take advantage of it, because we can do many things with the school, combined with the city council, and get the word out. Plus, we need more residents involved with Time Warner, because you're not going to get it on satellite. In fact, you can't even get Inglewood channel on satellite, nor can you get any newsworthy channels, particularly the California channel in Sacramento. For some reason, you can't get those channels. So we need to come to some kind of decision with Time Warner, and there's a lot of things happening now with the cable industry. I don't have enough time, but we need income for this city, and again, if we need some advisory concerning this coming fourth quarter. Things are looking up, and I would hope that we wouldn't take any more draconian cuts as far as outsourcing and laying off people, because we have other options. And I'm sorry that we did it, but I don't know how they're going to undo it. But we need some meetings, private meetings. It doesn't have to be televised, concerning this city. And I would hope it involve the community and involve people, residents, in this fourth quarter dilemma that we're going through. And things are getting better, and we're going to come out of it, because we're better off than most cities, I can tell you that. Because Hawthorne is getting, well, they're already trying to get a casino and everything else. But so we're doing well on balance. Thank you.
On balance. Okay, we'll,
Good evening, Mayor, or should I say good afternoon?
Good afternoon,
Good evening.
sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, and staff. I'm going to piggyback on a few comments that I've heard. Yes, downtown Inglewood right now is in a very, very bad state. People do defecate all along Market Street, from the Scientology building all the way to CVS. The sidewalks are terrible. They have black piss stains everywhere. It smells. So we have to have our public works go down there and just do a serious steam cleaning, all up and down.
even as we speak, I'll bet you they're en route.
Okay.
You got the phone
Thank you.
here.
And she's right. The other person that made a comment about gang problems, yes, we do have a gang problem in the summertime. 4th of July is coming, and these gangs find an opportunity because all our kids are out of school. They have nothing to do. We don't have any park programs for them. We used to have it, Rogers Park, the boxing. We don't have that. We don't have the police activities league. We don't have that. I understand that we don't have the budgets and the money. But we also have to understand, as a community, what are we going to sacrifice? Are we going to sacrifice money over people? Without the people, there is no money. So, we as a community, and you as leaders also have to, hear the community reach out to you and say, when they say help, you also have to come back and say, reach out your hand and say, how can we help you as leaders of this community? And really listen and understand what's being said. Now, when she said hate crimes in the city, there was a lot of that going on in Compton. Compton actually had to sit down with their community, their black and brown community, and say, well, what's the problem here? It was ridiculous. I mean, they were like the Wild Wild West. That's how bad it was in Compton. Maybe we have to talk to Compton and see how they solve that hate crime problem. Maybe. Or if you as leaders have your own suggestions to get this covered, then let's do that. My last points. Are you going to be here next Tuesday, or will everybody be on vacation? That's one. And then two.
We won't have council meeting next Tuesday. I don't know that everybody will be on vacation.
Okay.
I'll be at work.
I understand. And everybody, I want to just say one thing. 4th of July is Friday. Everybody, please have a beautiful and safe holiday. Let no harm come to you or your family on that day or any time. And my last point is, when we have a next night meeting, Joseph Texera will be there, so everybody be prepared to be hearing what's going on. That's all my points. Everybody have a beautiful weekend. Milton, for one last time. I've had individuals come and say hello to me and sort of comment, where have you been, why haven't you been? I want to understood, my not being here and in no way has any political connotation. I put 20 years at this podium, and I generally came to this podium to sell stuff. I did not come to criticize. I was selling my heart out. And I will tell you, nobody failed more than me in this city. That's that. So because of that effort and so many things I tried to do, and for whatever reason didn't happen, I simply stopped wanting to come sell. So it's nothing political. It was just strictly, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over if it's not simply getting you the reward you want. But I will try one last sell. The salesman in me can't leave. I heard the lady speak about the downtown. I haven't been through downtown as much as I used to, but I remember the events we used to put on downtown. We put on some pretty big market festivals. But looking back, and I hear we're having one come, and I thought, what did we do when we did it the last time? We focused primarily on stages. We had 3 stages, and we were televising it, and we had vendors. But what we didn't focus on back then, to the best of my memory, were the various stores along downtown. And the reason was we never quite got much tax revenue from the stores downtown. It just didn't work out that way. But maybe this time coming through, maybe you guys may decide to think about it, and we try to encourage more involvement with the local stores as we did in encouraging the vendors. And maybe the stores will see that this festival you put on might bring them increased sales and change the whole point of view. It would be nice to make some money in sales tax downtown. Give it a thought. I don't know, but I've heard the lady, and I've heard other people say that it needs attention. Maybe there's a way to do it. That's for you to decide. I don't have the answer, but I can tell you how we did in the past, and it wasn't as effective as it might be in the future. See what you think.
My name is Willie A.G. I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood. And I want to welcome Mr. Brown back to the city council meeting. I like the way he talks. He and I have been friends for many, many years. And to see him come back and have his say makes me feel good. And I want him to know that he's still a friend of mine. Councilman Padilla, you are awesome. You know that? You know, you guys operate like a machinery that's, how you say it, well-greased machinery. Everything just fall in place.
I want to use well-oiled.
Huh?
Greased has other connotations. Well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled machine. What are you laughing at? Anyway, I want to support the lady that spoke about Market Street. It really needs attention. I know a long time ago we had maybe a couple of steam cleaners. We really need steam cleaners out there and make it shine, because just as soon as I leave here, I'm going straight to the Rusty Pot and have some fried chicken.
Good evening. My name is Diane Sembron, and I'm fascinated by so many things that we heard today, isn't it? You know, usually if I was saying that, you would have told me to sit down and not be negative and just gone down that whole path. Isn't it interesting how you receive things differently based on the face that presents it? I'm going to suggest that perhaps we should have been outreaching to those businesses, as someone said before. Did anyone notice one of the oldest and highest revenue generating companies is no longer? Southland Lumber is no longer. And we never paid them tribute, and we never said thank you for the multiple years that they were here, providing tax revenues to us. How did we let that happen? Could it be because we suggested you go with a big box instead when it came time for people to come in and get contracts with us? So we basically said, forget about the local guy, go with a big box instead. And then we scream because a bigger box wants to come in town. Since 1949, they were here. I think it's time we honor the people who've actually been with us through the many years and have stuck with through thick and thin, in spite of the very unkindnesses that our city dealt them. I'm also going to suggest that we be truthful with this community. The forum was not a freebie for the residents of Inglewood. The school district did pay $22,000 for those 3 events. It was not city general funds, but it was, in fact, school district funds. $22,000 for the employees and all the other. It was not a gift to our community. It, in fact, did cost this community. With regard to the fireworks stands that are up for many years, I've suggested that we somehow let the public know where, who is doing their fireworks stand, so that we know who we want to support, if you want to support fireworks at all. Sometimes we get people from out of town who make up an address at a P.O. box somewhere and never put a day in of hard work in our community, and we fail to support the ones who've been here long term. So I would hope that next year perhaps we require signage that says benefits from this fireworks stand go to XYZ Corporation. We've not done that for many moons. And yes, I would hope that we encourage on Market Street and everywhere else that we actually use the community businesses that have been here long term rather than going outside of this community and bringing people in. Because that money goes away and people follow the people that go away rather than staying in town. So hopefully you'll encourage the local businesses to participate. Thank you.
Aldine Sly, First District. I still would like an answer. I just want to remind you, I'd like an answer on a consent calendar number 2. Also, I'd like to know if Parks and Rec are responsible for the amphitheater in Vincent Park. I was told that someone wanted to hold an event there, and the amphitheater was in very bad disarray. It's in bad shape, needs to be cleaned. And so I'm wondering if Parks and Recs are responsible for that, and if that comes under the auspices of tax dollars that would be spent by, that's given by from our tax dollars. And I think for the community, that should be taken care of, if in fact that is true. I haven't seen it for myself, but that's secondhand information that I received. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Lynette Lewis. I want to say one thing. Mayor, thank you for putting out your little thing in terms of, in response to when the fireworks and what are supposed to be sold and whatever out of those those fireworks stands, because we did not know that there was a specific date that they could start selling them, because they started selling them way before the 29th of June. So thank you for that, whatever. So I'm going to pass some of this out in my community so that they will know. But on the piggyback on the community aspect, the city, I work very hard in my community as to keep it my community, because I live there and I pay rent. Today, I was going through the community, I had to stop there. That shopping center there on Crenshaw Imperial, right in that curve there at the 112th Street Shopping Center. We have an agreement with that shopping center. We work with the people there to keep that shopping center clean. We do not allow to have stuff sitting on the sidewalk of that shop, because we are not a swap meet. And so therefore, we don't want our city to become a swap meet where everybody can come and just sit things on it and begin selling. I was wondering where in the world is our code enforcement today. The lady just kind of like set up her booth there, and she's selling dolls and all this kind of stuff on the sidewalk. Well, and I kind of asked her, does she have a business license to do that? Well, she doesn't. And she says she does it, whatever. In fact, she doesn't even live in the city. See, people come to Inglewood and do whatever they want to do because there's no enforcement here. And one of the things, and as I told Jeffrey, one of the managers at the store, we don't allow that. We don't allow you to put food on this thing, because we live here and we want to keep our community clean. And one of the things we have been working with him with that smoke shop. We've done with that in terms of keeping people off of the curves and that kind of stuff. And he picks up papers and stuff. The shopping center is clean. And it's basically how you allow people to drop paper and all that stuff and how it looks. That's what creates blight in your community, because if it looks bad, if everybody comes and see a piece of paper, they don't drop something down there. So we don't want that old rotten fruit sitting on the sidewalk creating flies. So I'm just saying is that I was wondering, do we still have code enforcement people that pass through there? I noticed that several times that I've had to go through there, and the police department pass through there, and they see people are sitting out there too that don't have license. They don't stop. They just wave and go head on. So I was just saying that somehow or another, would you guys help me to keep my community clean? Because we're going to be out there on it. All right, thank you.
Ms. Lewis, we definitely do have code enforcement people. In particular, we don't have that many, but they are very busy. The fact that they didn't get down to that intersection is no indictment of them. They're very, very hardworking employees. The police officers should have at least taken note and let the code enforcement people know, because we don't want to divert police officers to do non-hazardous code enforcement duties. We want them, for the more serious things that they need to address. So your complaint is noted, as were all of them today, and we will have somebody down there to take a look at the intersection.
Thank you.
All right. All right, we'll close public comment. Okay. I'm bad. Get up here faster, all right? Sir, please.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Richard Galindo. I live in District 1 with the Dawson District. I just wanted to say I appreciate Mr. Dawson since we had our meeting at the town center last month.
Yes.
A lot of your staff have helped us out a lot, got stuff done, took care of their business, and we have corrected a lot of stuff. So I wanted to say thank you to you and your staff, especially Mrs. Smith,
Yes.
who was on top of everything. One of my concerns we have in our blog, well, two actually, is there's a place called Chuco Center. And Chuco Center is a supposedly school that is out there to help young youth to get back into society or help them to graduate school. But what we know is that they're always out there smoking marijuana on 12 noon. Okay?
Where is this again?
On District 1, Chuco Center. It's on,
Chuco Center.
yeah. On Redondo and West. Yes. And they're out there. We have, I have called code enforcement. I have called them. She came out there. We looked around. We have one of the youths that was out there just urinating right there on the pole. And she told him, hey, you know what? You get a ticket for that. He's like, well, to give it to me. No respect at all. These are kids who don't even live in our city. They're from outside of the city. And they're coming, they're graffitiing, that big mural on the alley. We just don't want to see it. A lot of my residents are complaining because they have events, on weekends. They're not supposed to have events like that, parties, and they're out there drinking. And they're smoking their weed, That's one of my complaints of our block. The other complaint we have is a body auto shop right there. It's called Chuck Auto Shop. That he's painting a lot of cars, and when you have to paint cars, they have to be like a special thing. The fumes doesn't go out to the neighborhood. Well, all the fumes are going to the neighborhood. Cars are getting stained, because the wind is blowing out the thing, and a lot of the neighbors are complaining about it. So I just want to know if the city council could do something about it regarding that. See if they could send the code enforcement or somebody out there to take care of the business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We close public comment. Council comment, Councilman Dotson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have some comments on Market Street. I don't want the public to think Market Street has gone totally unnoticed. I've spent the last 2 Saturdays on Market Street. This past Saturday, they had a jazz, couldn't say a concert, but a jazz day on Market Street. And all the businesses came out and sold their wares on the street. They also have a Market Street Business Club that have come together to try to solve some of the problems on Market Street. I will be working with them on that. I will be at a meeting on July the 10th with the Market Street Business Club, and these are some of the things that we will be talking about. Meanwhile, I will be talking to Lewis in Public Works to see what we could do about cleaning up the street.
Already taken care of.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Okay, the other thing is, I have an email address, and I wish some of you who live in the First District, if you have problems and you cannot reach me any other way, please email me at gdotson, cityofinglewood.org. Once again, that's gdotson at cityofinglewood.org. And I will do everything I can to take care of those problems. The other thing is, the chief sent out an email, and I'm sure everybody got it, about the 4th of July. Everybody gets happy and want to shoot fireworks, but we have fireworks that are safe and sane, and we have fireworks that are illegal. So if you want to report illegal fireworks, there's a telephone number that you can call. The Inglewood PD has a task force that will be taking care of that. The telephone number is 310-412-8771. So if you want to report that, please do so. I have one little item that I think me and Padilla forgot about. This is our anniversary. We've been on the council for 1 year.
Hey.
And I want to thank this council and the entire staff of the city. They have made my year one of the best. I've enjoyed this year working with this city and this council. And I'm very proud of the things we've done together. And I'm looking forward to the things we're going to do in the future together. There's always going to be some problems, but that's the way of a city. Some things we're going to have problems. We're going to solve some of them. And some of them, well, we'll work on those. But we're going to be working on all of them. We're going to make sure that this city goes to the very top. That's my ambition. When I come here to work, I come here to make this city better than it was when I came here. So I want to wish everybody a very safe and happy 4th of July. Please be careful and take care of yourselves. And thank you for coming out. We always appreciate your comments. And have a great evening.
Councilman Padilla?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of quick things. Last weekend, Councilmember Morales and I had an opportunity to attend a conference in San Diego. It's called NALEO, National Association of Local Elected and Appointed Officials. So we have folks there from the State Senate, the Assembly, council people from other cities throughout the United States. So it was a very good conference. We talked about how do we get more people to vote? How do we get more people involved at the local level to make a difference in what's impacting them? And so that's one of the things that we're going to move on, is trying to make sure we get more registered voters and reach out to our high schools and our colleges and throughout the community to get them registered so that they can have a voice in what we're doing, especially here at a local level. We even had Governor Brown come down and talk to our group, very well attended conference out in San Diego, and looking forward to going next year. Not sure where it's going to be. Last week, we had an opportunity to talk about a new restaurant here in Inglewood called, and Willie Agee mentioned it, Rusty Pot Cafe on Market Street. So I had to go visit it. You know, me and my wife went down there on Sunday and spoke to the owner and her daughter. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't been there, you owe it to yourself. I happened to have the meatloaf. It was very delicious. My wife had the chicken. It was awesome. So if you get a chance, it's on Market Street. Go by there. Also, I can't say that without telling you to come down and visit one of our new restaurants in District Number 2. It's called the Madmen Deli, and it's right at the corner of La Brea and Fairview. If you want a good cold cut sandwich, hamburger, anything like that, it's really tasty. The price is right, and we want to support these folks that are coming out and opening their businesses here in the city of Inglewood. I want to congratulate Michael Falco, Officer Falco, as we talked to him earlier, on graduating from your Reserve Academy. I tell you what, it's a commitment to do what he did, having a full-time job, raising his family, being available when we need him, and yet to do something that is going to be a service to our community and do it for free, and do it because he cares and has a passion about doing the right thing right. So Michael Falco, Officer Falco, congratulations to you on that.
Thank you, sir.
Just one last thing. Ms. Liggins, correct? Is it? Tibbins. Just want you to know our heart goes out to you and your family. I know that was the same night I had my town hall meeting. I know there was a lot going on. I know you'd stopped by. Just want you to know that I have stayed in communication with the police department. I know that they've reached out to the family and keeping them updated on where it's at in the investigation. But I want you to know that anytime we lose a life anywhere, especially senseless acts of violence, we want to go out there and have a positive impact on that. So if there's any way that I can help you, and I've attended several community meetings to talk about our community and the things that we're doing to try to improve our situation. But I'm here for you, as the rest of the mayor and the council members are. If you ever need anything, please let us know. I'll be available after this meeting to talk to you one-on-one. That being said, again, as Councilmember Dodson mentioned, thank you so very much for our first year in office. It's gone by fast. It's been one heck of a fun journey. I've enjoyed it, and I will continue to enjoy it. I've always said that I appreciate folks that come up to the podium and talk about what's impacting them. I think the difference that we make is we're here to work with you to move the city forward. There's no magic pill. There's not a one-stop that solves it all. Just because we may have the forum here or any other business here, isn't going to be the magic pill that's going to take us out of debt. You know, it's all stuff that we're going to use to improve our community and our situation. And yeah, we still have work to do, but please let us know what it is that we can help you to get that done. Again, thank you so much. Have a safe 4th of July with your family and friends.
Councilman Morales?
Thank you. First, let me congratulate Councilman George and Alex for their first year. This is honestly a role that I can tell you, you don't do it as good and as well as they've been doing it unless you really care about what you're doing and really care about the neighborhood and have a certain love for it because, and this goes for all elected officials, I just don't think they would do, there's a lot you put up with and to put your heart and soul into it, and congratulations. And you guys have done great up here. Going back to Naleo, regarding our conference, we had a great conference, and I can tell you that we learned a lot of different things about how to kind of maneuver through these tough economic times with the city. But I can tell you Naleo has services that help us do those things. I don't know if anyone remembers, but a few years back, they helped me sponsor a citizen drive where they brought stipends, and Faithful Central was nice enough to open up their facility. They registered for citizenship 500 of our residents. The line was all the way around the block. It was first come, first served, and they did it, and they had the waivers for the fees, and that's between $500 and $700. I can't remember what it was. But that's the kind of organization it is, and we're very just proud to be part of it. So we look forward to bringing more services that they offer. To Ms. Triggs, Ms. Tippins, thank you very much for being here and just kind of reminding us of some of the issues that are out there. We can tell you that those are issues that are very important to us. And as Alex said, you know, we're here for you. The communication is there. Sometimes it feels like it's too slow. But anytime you want to come speak to any of us, our door is open. Now, I want to say Ms. Zambrano actually brought up a really good idea. I'm always actually trying to find out which nonprofits are selling fireworks where before I buy some for my kids. Sometimes I buy them at 2 or 3 places. But that's a good idea. In other words, Mr. Falco, Mr. Fields, for next year.
Already do that.
What?
Already know.
They already know which one? No, I know, no, but where, like for instance, for when people want to say, hey, I want to help the baseball field, where their stand is, or where the Chamber of Commerce has their site or whatever. You know, the fireworks company send out a flyer to all the homes, reminding folks about these are the prices, you know, this is where you can fit. I don't see why next year they couldn't put, oh, at these locations, these are the nonprofits that are benefiting. I just think that makes sense. I mean, parents from a local sports group want to support that sports group, you know, or Morningside High has a football team that actually does a fireworks stand that, you know, every year they should be able to do so. So I just wanted to point that out. It was a good idea. Thank you.
And I also wanted to piggyback on that, Mr. Bruno. We do know who is allowed to open fireworks stands. We have a committee that vets the nonprofits, and they all have to have a local purpose. So, so you can rest assured that it isn't people from outside the city. I want to go over a few issues. As far as Ms. Lewis is complaining about 112th and Crenshaw, we're having code enforcement people go out and look at that today. We already have Public Works going to look at Market Street. Ms. Tibbins, we have a marshal's task force in operation, and I know that you felt that maybe at times they focus on the wrong people. Well, police work isn't so pinpoint that you know when you approach someone that they are the right or wrong people. Part of what you're doing is presence, to let people know there is a police presence. Our hearts go out to you for the loss of your grandson, I thought you said, and we're still working on it. You know, every homicide rips a family apart, and it puts a hole in their heart forever. And that being said, we have to look at things overall in context, and over the last 3 years, there have been 13, 14, and we're at 14 homicides this year, and that's 14 way too many. But we're coming from just 3 years ago, years of 32, 30 homicides. We've cut them in half, and we're going to do better. So I don't want to lose sight of the fact that we've had the 3 lowest consecutive years of crime in this city in the history of us keeping crime statistics. And numbers are so cold and brutal, but we have to work at some base to figure out whether we're getting somewhere or we're going the wrong way. We are going the right way. We've forever gone the wrong way in the case of your grandson. I wanted to address, I really wanted to thank the people that came and brought specific problems that we could deal with. And quite frankly, I used my phone and texted people to work on them right now. And the reason that you may sense a different acceptance, Ms. Sobrano, is that some people come and they just complain every week. And the things that were the big ticket things like sound insulation, where we'd lost $40 million, and people, we were down to doing 40, 50 homes a year. Now we're doing 1,000 a year. We don't get any complaints about that, but we also don't get any compliments from the people that complain every week. Never hear, hey, great, you fixed that. We lost Southland Lumber. They're over at 87th and Aviation, I think. Well, the reason we didn't know, because you don't always go by 87th and Aviation, and we're not going to know every time a business leaves town. So to come up and say what bad people you are because you didn't give Southland Lumber a big going away party, we didn't know. We didn't know, Ms. Sobrano. It's just not that sinister. 16 businesses did come to the city since January. That's something to celebrate. We're paving the streets in District 1 and District 4 right now, doing sidewalks in District 2 and 3. We always hear a lot of complaints about that, but we don't hear those anymore. Mostly it's because some people come and give us specific things we can work on right now, and then some people complain about what's happened in the past, years and years ago, and if you'd only listened to us then, well, we weren't there then. So that's why you sense a different acceptance. We're trying to work together as a community as opposed to just lament. The housing department is going to come back with some recommendations to expand our criteria for homeowner assistance. I don't see the lady in the audience anymore, and so that'll be happening next week. No. Well, that's wonderful. So that's even better, right? Okay. I wanted to get everything. We're going to go over and talk to the people that run the Chuco Justice Center. We're going to have a police representative go in and talk to them. And so this is what we really want. This is what council meeting is supposed to be about. People come in, they talk about things, and we want to deal with your problems. But some things, when you complain about the past over and over and over again, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do about that. Just, hey, glad you fixed it is good enough sometimes. But we can't lament over things years gone by. And so I really, really appreciate those of you that came, and I think, Mr. Matthew, I think that it's okay that we have day meetings because there are some people here because it's a day meeting. So I appreciate the new people coming too. I want to close the meeting in the name of Ms. Horton's aunt, Laura Beal, and we're adjourned. And remember, there won't be a meeting next Tuesday.
Excuse me, Mayor.
No, they canceled this. Yes, sir.
Yes, maybe she has something.
Eh, What's that? The meeting's over. The meeting's over. You can't speak, but you can come and talk to me personally.